Good morning, it's about 11 a.m. on the 14th of May 2025, and I have the cattle in because I had a herd test. Very unusual, but because there's a good deal of TB in the area by neighbours, well, not immediate neighbours, but in the surrounding area anyway, and the determinate test is needed. So in this case, there's a good Shirley type cow. They tend to say that you need them white. I don't go with that at all. I don't care what colour they are. And that little calf gone in is a change I made in my breeding tactic. He's a shorthorn. And I'm just going back to them as an experiment, really. And that's a little heifer calf. This is the mother here. Now, I don't keep a bull, and there are pros and cons to keeping a bull. But with a small herd like mine, the AI is very attractive way of doing things, and you have your choice of cattle. And there's no doubt it has led to quite good crossbred stock. Now, this calf here is a good deal older, and this is a shorthorn sire bull out of a limousine cow, and that's a heifer as well. So this is the mother of that red calf. Now, so you see that shorthorn is not keeping the white parts. There's no white patches. So this lad here is a half brother of the first one I showed you, and here is the mother. No, sorry, that white one is its mother. And he's starting to, after being away from her for several months, he's starting to suck her again, and that's a problem with pregnant cows. I put them all into the shed, and I discovered that he was sucking her, so he'll have to be kept apart from her. So this cow's time is nearly up, and I'll be watching her closely. Wish me luck. An Angus or a Shorthorn would suit there. See, the idea of this cow, you need these in your herd, in my view. This cow is a mix of the old Hereford and the Frisian. And so if you look at the other there, look at the other, the milk there. And I have to say, touch wood, and I will in a minute, you don't get the same level of mastitis. Mastitis is my biggest problem. So I'm always trying to go back to these type of cattle, and I think it's the basis of any good herd, of suckler herd. Some people want all purebreds, and good luck to them. Who's to say I'm right or wrong, but I like to have this type of cow. They're terrific mothers. They have good milk, and they're not prone to mastitis. So this cow here, I showed her before. She's an oldish cow, and that's her Salar. A Salar. So I had a Salar heifer before. This is a heifer. I've had 3 heifers in the last while, and she died because she was in an accident. She was in an unfortunate accident and died on me, and she was a lovely heifer. Now, Salars can be wicked, and a lot of people that have them say that they calve better left alone, and even on sats. Now, I don't know, except to say that I bought 2 Salar bullocks one time off a closing down sale, and I brought them home, and I had them a good while, and they did well and made money. But when I was once in the field, and I was picking fruit off a tree, picking damsons fruits off a tree. And one of them came up behind me and gave me a massive dunt in the backside. I recovered from it, but I felt it for a while. I've never had a base directly make a hostile act to me, but I actually think it wasn't a wicked thing. It was an inbuilt activity to have. And this thing about animals suddenly getting full of beans and maybe doing good or bad is what gets the salmon caught. The salmon lies in the river mouth waiting for the flood to come and let him get upstream to spawn. But while he's waiting there, he has to wait and he gets a bit aggressive. And if he sees a bait or something, even though he doesn't eat in fresh water, he will snap at it. In other words, get out of my way type of thing. And that's why salmon fishing by rod and line works. Now he's a tin calf. It's a female, by the way, a little heifer. Tin calf and true to the solar colours. I try to avoid as far as possible turning my back on any animal, particularly a cow or a bullock. You never know what might spook them or whatever. Always keep them in your line of vision in front of you. Now the next thing is I will have to do these for vermin. And I probably will do them with Ivamec Poron. I want to kill lice, and I noticed I handled this one here, and I noticed she has ticks. So the vet advises letting them out and having them out for a while, and these are out now about 2 weeks. So once I get my test done, if I'm all right, I'll now get something to put on them. It'll be 150 to do them, but I'll have to do something with them not to have any vermin on them. And now is the time when they're in for the test to get it done. Before letting them out. So this heifer here, she's in heat up to 2 o'clock this morning, so she'll be all right for the AI, and I have to decide what to go. She's a first timer, although she didn't hold in calf before. This heifer must be 25 months. She'd fatten up for beef trade, but unless you really need the money, you're as well off putting her in calf. Now she's 3/4 limousine, and eventually I hope to have limousine calves out of her. But she's a wee bit frisky. She'd tend to jump a gate and that type of thing, a wee bit. But she's definitely, I need to get a calf out of her. An Angus would be all right, but I think I'll stick with my shorthorn, and I'll tell you why. The shorthorns are very placid cattle. They're very, very quiet cattle. So are the Angus. So I think that I might just go another shorthorn if he has a straw. I think he has. And that because I'm having good shorthorn ones. They're easy calved and they come on very quick, but needless to say, they mightn't be that as good as the limousine in due course. And she's big enough, like some people would go a big bull on that cow, but a limousine would be the ideal, I'd say too. I'd say a limousine would be okay, but I think I'll go the shorthorn, and I'll tell you why. It'll breed her down a wee bit, and quieten them down a wee bit, and I can always come back to the limousines. With a herd like mine, you're going to get eventually almost purebred cattle, almost purebred, and I tend not to like it. I don't like it. So the last year and a half, I'm going the shorthorn to kind of bring the old tradition back to the herd. And it's possible next year that I might go have a few Herefords or even some of the remaining cattle. Now, the Herefords don't pay as well. They're not as good a bullocks in the mart. So there's all these things to be thought about. The blackboard is an important thing, and a bit of chalk and a blackboard. And in fact, I think I'll try and get a better blackboard. I might buy a bigger one. I don't know, can you make them? This is a homemade job. I think the one you buy has special paint on it, but it's very important to be able to put down your times. So there's 104 there. She has calved. That's that calf, what do you call them? Shorthorn. And here's 122, due in June. And here's 183, the 17th of May. I've shown you her. She's the one with the black heifer with the white speckled face. And so you can see at a glance. It's better off if you can have them down in order. But sometimes you'll put down a cow's time and then she'll come back, she'll repeat, and then the time is different. But once you have it up there, it is a great old reference, and you might forget about a time due. You mightn't be watching too closely, and you have it there. And then you just, that by right now, I should wipe that out now. That's done there. That should be wiped out, if you know what I mean. Wipe it out, get a rag and wipe it out. And that helps. Would you believe it? I knew a female teacher one time who died of cancer, a good teacher. And they attributed the cause of the cancer to something in chalk. Would you believe that? But in this situation, it's not that important. If anyone can comment on that, I don't know much about it, except that I remember being at the funeral and told that's the case. Now, have we anything else? There's my shorthorn calf there, looking out. This one here is a wee limousine bullock. He's about 3/4 pure. He doesn't have that real rounded view thing of some purebred limousines. Some of them are beautiful cattle. I don't manage to breed them like that, I have to say. This, of course, I wouldn't be without me few Shirleys. You remember years ago I had a pair of cattle and the mother had to go. I forget this what happened, but I reared her and the one behind her on the one cow. And you can do that. That's why it's great to have your cattle, your cows calving in the early spring. You can do all kinds of things that's harder to do in the summer and the autumn. But that, if you can see there behind that when they're eating, you see the one there eating, like that's a good calf out of a shorthorn cow. I mean, how could you go wrong? Touch wood here now till I get a bit of wood to touch. I was always told never praise an animal without thanking God and saying, God save her, God bless her. Years ago there was a thing called the evil eye. Some people were said to have an evil eye, I don't know. And you could tie a thing on the cow's tail and it stopped them. It stopped the evil eye, I don't know. It was a funny tradition. If anyone wants me to make a video, I might try it. But it's probably pishrogi again. So, yeah, this is the mother of the early blue-whited. And she's in calf to an Angus. So you see a few of them in the herd. I wouldn't be without them. Like, I think that one's half. Forget now, she's half Shirley. So even her, it's time to be breeding her down. So hopefully I'll have a black Angus, Pole Angus as they call them, a cow out of that. And then of course, it's funny this year I have 3 heifers in a row in the last 3. So I'll be due now to go for bullocks as well. But they're no fallen goods. They're all great. Very important to have them. There's a bit of keeping on them. Anyone thinking that this is an easy way of doing things, it's not that easy. There's a good bit of work to it. The electric fence, of course, is a great thing for the AI system, and you don't have a big bull about the place. And having them shut in the summer and all this sort of thing, I don't know. It's the way I went, and it has worked very good. I can say no more. Now, remember, folks, I did a video before on clean drinkers. How you stop them shitting into the drinker. How you stop them dunging and urinating into the drinker, because the cattle will back up on a drinker and they'll scratch off it, and when they're there, they'll do number 1s and number 2s. And several people I know one person who doesn't like my attitude on government policies and everything else, and says that was the best video. He says, from you, I saw that video and got the blocks put in. I never had to clean a drinker. It really does work. It works on the fact that cattle can't reverse, and you put 4-inch blocks underneath. And I didn't cement mine in. Just as an experiment, and they do move them. They move them, but they're not hard to replace. So anyone that wonders about that system, because it's very much an animal welfare thing too. You don't have them shitting in their own drink, and it works. And you still need a square scoop. You'll get them in most providers. Now, do you see that calf there? To clean them out, he's given a wee whoos there. So that fella now needs a dose, probably a bit of fluke or worm or whatever in him, and he'll be looked about. That'll be done very, very soon. That's all I can tell you. I'm not saying I know how to do everything. I'm saying I experiment all the time, and as you experiment, you become smarter in your way of, you learn from it, and it's no harm to share it. Why should other people make the same mistake? Sure, so bother looking at me video, that's a good thing. So the next thing will be the silage is already cut in some places, and I'll be starting to cut quite soon. Now that's my AI man coming, artificial insemination, and he's coming, and we'll go. You see that wheel there? I showed you that wheel there before. Not a bad idea either. As I said before, put a big wheel. The bigger the wheel, the better. The problem with that there is it tends to stick. It tends to get caught, you see, in the thing. Now, once these goes out, the next thing is to try and clean the place out and clean it. And I'm a bit concerned about corrosion at the butt of these pillars. I was talking to a lad the other day he knows a crowd that makes a living from fixing them. So by right, we need to find some way of trying to cut out corrosion there and clean around them and put something on them to try and keep them from corroding. It would have been a good idea to get them galvanized. And you know something? If you're building a shed again, although the uprights doesn't matter, but I'd think about getting them galvanized. I would. It might wear off though, I can't say. Right, folks, with that now, we're off. The man is coming, and we're all looking forward to a calf in 9 months' time. Bye-bye. Thank you. Comment underneath. Give a like. And I have 9,500 views. I'm getting a bit worried now with all people viewing me that the whole country will be as smart as us. See, my community here, my subscribers, are very, very smart. Well, they all tell me how smart they are. And they're really, really working with law and everything else. We can't have everyone as smart as us, you know. And I have to think about that. We might have to restrict subscribers. Right, we'll see you back. Good luck. Thank you.